You are an e-boy. You get over 10,000 likes per photo.
10,000.
Do you know what that means? That's 10,000 people who love you.
You're famous.
I love you.
You're different.
I know you're better than everyone else.
You're so beautiful.
And anything you want. Sorry, I was just practicing a little self-love there. Today we are going to be doing something a bit different from our typical Why It Works deconstructions. In fact, it's something more akin to the commentary channels most are familiar with. We'll put a couple of them up on screen here, but instead we'll be doing it with our own internet culture-oriented twist where we'll kind of be talking about ideas and things pertinent to the age of information. And to start off this episode, we are going to be delving into a topic I find very interesting, that is... turn into it.
Whatever.
Whatever I'm feeling. Billie Eilish is Madonna. Now, I'm not here trying to prove that they're necessarily the same person. What I'm trying to do instead is compare them as figures in pop culture. Essentially, do a little bit of analysis on the role they play in greater media. So I'm going to start things off by delving a bit into the background of Madonna. In fact, I'm going to actually quote her Wikipedia article. No, I'm not. I'm going to put it up on screen so you think I know what I'm talking about. Madonna is essentially a pop icon of global proportions. She has immense amount of influence all around the world. Basically, her name evokes a sense of artistry beyond her music. There's an imagery, there's something bigger than just the music, something beyond simply what we think of a musician as representing. And I'm going to try to make a case for Billie Eilish beginning to do the same thing. I stumbled upon Billie Eilish about a year ago and immediately sent her profile to people saying, this person is kind of different. She's different than some of the pop stars, which we all know and love and follow. Let's just throw them up on the screen everywhere. She's a bit different because she immediately kind of came onto the scene with a very distinct image and wardrobe and just presence that seemed to kind of both seem authentic, but almost like she was an industry plant, but in the way you kind of like. The first way I'm going to try to compare the two is talk about how Madonna was the figure she was because of a technological change that happened during her career. Essentially, she was one of the first artists during the generation that kind of switched from radio to MTV. And she kind of took advantage of that by kind of being one of the first artists to have the visual pairing with her music, as before that time, of course, there were concerts and different types of album art, things like that, but the music, we're with the ducks. In essence, she was a part of a technological shift and really took advantage of that, being one of the first artists to have a massive kind of image with her. Things like a Virgin, whatever her other songs are, we'll put them up on screen. I don't need to know this stuff. You guys can see it right here. I don't see it, but it's here. We edited it. Billie Eilish, in a way, also her career takes place during another shift in technology, one where we take the artist into a new realm of what they can share with their audience. Billie Eilish is essentially a social media star beyond her artistry, or beyond her music. What MTV was to the 80s is essentially very similar to what Instagram and different types of social media are now to the youth. It's a very direct parallel in terms of how music and culture can influence people. We just now have a means that kind of like barrages us with it at an enormous velocity. And Billie Eilish just happens to be kind of like riding different currents of relevancy, and in a very archetypal way, she's just kind of the embodiment of the ideal female right now. She's kind of doesn't take any, says what she wants, is very driven and artistic. It's just kind of resonating on a level. Of course, she's very pretty. That's another whole part of it. There's so many things, and it just seems to be like this perfect storm. And a year ago I saw it, but right now I just want to kind of get it out there, put it out into the memosphere that we've been watching this, and we kind of want to almost call it out and say this seems like something that is really going to take. I mean, she doesn't even have an album yet, and she's boasting 10.6 million followers, a number of ridiculous cosigns from very established artists. She's doing something right. Another clear connection between the two is that they both exist as pop icons who interact with counterculture. In the same way that Madonna interacted with Warhol and Warhol and Basquiat. Billie Eilish is known for interacting with a wide array of SoundCloud rappers. In fact, some of the things that made her viral were interactions she's had with SoundCloud rappers singing along to different songs. It's clear that while being a pop icon, she is still connected to the same DIY, youthful energy that seems to be taking over popular culture at the moment, mainly manifesting in the SoundCloud rap movement. Essentially, what I'm getting at is beyond being a good musician, there are elements of just a wider cultural acceptance and awareness of just the general artistic energy of a time period. So as the fandom knows, Billie Eilish was a dancer before she was a singer, which kind of contributes to the fact that she's an all-around performer. But beyond that, she is also a funny and genuine personality, and my fact to prove this up is thousands, we're gonna bleep that out probably, thousands of fan accounts that have substantial followings. She has, in such a quick amount of time, amassed such an enormous following of dedicated fans. It's really stan culture at its finest. She's hit a string. She is resonating with the youth. She is embodying all sorts of trends. And to prove that, I'm going to cite my next example, which is beauty trends. Now, you might be thinking, Blair, what are you talking about? Beauty trends. Of course, Billie's a beautiful person, but what's the connection here? Well, I'm gonna cite this as an example. Now, go to your local Instagram page and look. There's like little tabs you can kind of look through different topics, and you can look in beauty. And I want you to scroll through that. We'll have something right here doing that, but you scroll through that, and you're gonna quickly realize if we put a side by side of Billie Eilish up to a bunch of artists' work, you're gonna see that Billie Eilish kind of embodies the ideal female features right now. It's very strange, but I kind of noticed this and I was like, that makes sense. That's why this is resonating on this level. She has the nose, the perk nose, the eyes. It's eerie how much art and how many Instagram models, e-girls, ethos, whatever you want to call them, how many of them have the same facial features. She's just kind of has them, but is doing something that has the potential to resonate on a bigger level. And of course it is helping. Basically, this all compiles back onto the point that she is something beyond simply her music, which is just really the beginning. And to support it factually, we have another pop star who kind of had a meteoric rise in the age of information, similar but not really. We have Lorde. Lorde only has, it's like 8.6 million followers when we're making this video. Billie Eilish, in a year of existence, in a year and a half of existence, she has like 10.6 million and it's climbing. All she needs is an album or something right now, and it's just going to really take her to that next level. Essentially, this is all just a theory. I can't prove anything about Billie Eilish being the next Madonna. I'm just kind of noticing that this is a collision of a lot of artifacts of popular culture, and it's really seeming like it's amounting, or it's going to amount to something much bigger than simply, who can I throw under the bus here? Maybe a Bella Thorne? This is you, Bella Thorne. Madonna is often considered the queen of pop. And of course, I'm not trying to make the case that Billie Eilish is the queen of pop now, but she's certainly a princess of pop who seems to have a trajectory towards a potential spot in royalty eventually. Final thoughts. Of course, I recognize saying Billie Eilish is Madonna is a bit of provocative language. I'm kind of trying to say something that's going to get people a little riled up. You can argue about it in the comments. You can tell me I look stupid right now. Whatever you want to do. Essentially, it's just a marketing technique. It's a video virality technique. Go check out our other Why It Works videos. We talk a lot about stuff like that. It's going to make the video get views, hopefully, maybe. Let's cut this out if that's not the truth. I think I got to repeat some parts, but what's the general vibe of this? You know, sometimes I look at this camera and just kind of feel anger. Who am I talking to? Who am I talking to over there?
Glad you stayed reclusive. You have a wound that's self-inflicted, and in times like this it's too late to fix it. The weight of the world couldn't change you, and if you died, no one would miss you.